Hello and welcome to this NLab screencast. My name is Brian Pocock and I'll be presenting some of the new features that are available in Check Point R76. Check Point R76 was released in February of this year, and as the 6 in the name suggests, there have been a number of improvements with regards to IPv6 support. The Smart Dashboard has been redesigned and now offers the same look and feel as R75.40 VS. Additional features have been added to the Gaia web interface, which make day-to-day administration easier. Mobile Access Blade now offers easier client deployment options, and more DLP data types have been added, including the ability to fingerprint directories. Application control and URL filtering now provide more web proxy-like functionality, and the use of user check has been extended to the anti-bot and antivirus software blades. Finally, we'll explore some of the upgrade paths that are available for R76. Let's have a look at some of these features in a bit more detail. When logging into Smart Dashboard, an overview screen is displayed detailing file statistics such as concurrent connections, throughput of all devices, and policy information such as number of rules in policy, how many rules have expired, rules that are disabled, and rules that have had 0 hits. Overview screens are available across all software blades. The application control and URL filtering overview displays the most visited applications and the most visited sites within your organization, and in addition to this, top users based on the amount of bandwidth they have consumed. DLP highlights the number of incidents over a set time frame and assigns a severity rating associated with them. Anti-bot and antivirus shows virus incidents and bot incidents across a set time frame and highlights where these attacks have originated from on the world map. Policy administration will be familiar if you've worked with Check Point before, the only difference being policy and NAT policy are now separated into 2 separate options within the same firewall tab. While it has always been possible to dual stack network interfaces with both IPv6 and IPv4 addresses, it's now also possible to add IPv6 static routes, configure OSPF to run in version 3, which offers support for IPv6, and configure IPv6 VRRP. In addition to these extra functionality and support for IPv6, it is now also possible to edit and add proxy ARPs directly from the web interface. There's now no longer any need to edit the local .arp file manually. Network objects within Smart Dashboard can be configured with both an IPv4 and IPv6 address. This makes migrations easier, as multiple objects do not need to be configured to represent the same resource. And finally, from the command line, all FW commands now have a corresponding FW6 command. The most significant change to the Mobile Access Blade in this release is the introduction of the Mobile Enterprise Client for iOS. The Mobile Enterprise Client provides a secure container for mail, calendar, contacts, documents, and web applications. All corporate data is encrypted within the secure container and access restricted with multiple authentication methods. An offline-only mode is also available, which prevents any business data from being stored on the device. Anyone that's familiar with deploying the Mobile Access Client will know this is a time-consuming task, as each user needs assigning a client certificate. This process has been made easier with the introduction of the Client Certificate Creation and Distribution tool. This tool enables multiple certificates to be generated and distributed with minimal effort. First, an email template is created, providing easy instructions to download and set up the client. Next, the newly created template is selected, the site users should connect to defined, and a mail server selected. Finally, the users and groups to deploy are selected. An email will then be sent out to each individual user, notifying them that their account has been created and instructions provided on how to set it up. Check Point application control and URL filtering is unique in the next generation firewall market, and it can actually act as a full proxy for HTTP and HTTPS traffic. It can either be deployed transparently, where requests from clients are intercepted and handled by the gateway, or non-transparently, where the client's browser sends HTTP requests to the gateway itself. In addition to this functionality, it is now possible to enforce safe search in search engines. When using search engines, regardless of what your preferences are set to, the only results that will be returned are filtered. Another significant new feature is the ability to categorize HTTPS sites without the use of HTTPS inspection. This is achieved by inspecting the Issued To field of the SSL certificate. These options are configured within the engine settings and take effect once policy is installed. In addition to the 672 predefined data types now available, it is also possible to fingerprint files residing on network repositories. The gateway scans these repositories and prevents files residing within from leaving the organisation. To implement this, create a new data type and select Fingerprint. Next, enter the network path of the repository and the credentials that have access to it. A test can be run to verify connectivity between the gateway and the file server. The match similarity is then defined. This can either be set to exact match, where the whole file will be searched for, or partial match, which prevents copying of text from one document to another. A scanning schedule is defined, which specifies when the directory is scanned. The initial scan occurs as soon as policy is installed, so it is recommended to run out of business hours. This is due to the initial scan putting a lot of load on the gateway. In addition to this, it is also possible to upload the files to the gateway itself that are stored in a whitelist. Any files stored in here will always be allowed out by DLP policy. There are currently a number of upgrade paths available should you wish to upgrade to R76. Firstly, R71.50 is the only R71 release for which an upgrade path to R76 is supported. All versions in the R75 release family, including R75.40 VS, can be upgraded straight to R76. This is with the exception of R75.46, for which there is currently no upgrade path available. Thank you for watching this NLab screencast, and remember to sign up to MFeed, our monthly technical newsletter.